This is the Louie T Network.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. We in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 9 in the National Football League. St. Louis Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. NFC West family business. Now, 49ers coming off the bye, 4-3 record. They got to feel like, hey, if we can just tread water, our stuff is coming down the pipeline. I mean, we've got help on the way. Just find a way to stay above the Mendoza line and we should be fine. Arizona seems like they're running away with the division. Whatever. We just want to get in. We didn't win the division last year. We still made it to the NFC Championship game. Just win football games. Well, you're coming off a bye, you're at home, and the Rams are coming to town. They just got pasted last week by the Kansas City Chiefs. Why not take care of business at home, right? Right? Wrong. At least that's what the St. Louis Rams were thinking coming into this game. Why can't we beat these guys? We already took care of Seattle. Why can't we beat these guys? And they've had success against these 49ers. Even when they lose, it's always close. That's why it's family business. Let's jump into this one. LaMarcus Joyner, nearly with a pick, forces a field goal on the Niners' first drive. As they were moving the football down the field, Bolden was getting involved. But LaMarcus Joyner almost stepped in front of one. Probably should have picked it off, doesn't. Leads to a field goal. It's 3-0 San Francisco early in this game. Austin Davis moves the Rams down the field with the assistance of Trey Mason. He was running the football and he had a nice block. He's getting better. Remember, that was the reason why he couldn't get on the field earlier on in the season. He wasn't picking up the pass protection well. His pass pro has gotten much better. He had a crucial block on a 3rd down that allowed them to pick up a 1st down. They ended up getting a field goal out of the thing. And now it's 3-all in this game. So Rams hanging tough early on with this 49ers football team. Anton Bethea drops into zone and picks off Austin Davis as we're in the 2nd quarter now. And they're already in Rams territory when this pick is made. So 49ers are in business. It leads to a 27-yard Quan touchdown. They do a bootleg, a little bit of action for Colin Kaepernick to get out of the pocket. He scans the field a lot of time, which is something he really didn't have a lot of in this game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But he's able to scan the field, find Quan wide open over the middle of the field, gets him the football. He's able to turn around, get up the field, get in the end zone, 27-yard touchdown, 10-3, 49ers on top in this game. At this point, I thought, okay, Austin Davis is struggling a little bit, and they're starting to get to him. He seems a little frazzled. The running game maybe isn't working as well as they would like it to. I think this is an opportunity for the 49ers to kind of pull away in this game. And so, Parrish Cox picks off Austin Davis to end a drive. They were starting to move the football. Where the Rams, they're starting to get into an offensive rhythm. They were completing a lot of short passes underneath the sticks, getting some yards after the catch. And they were keeping themselves in 3rd and manageable. And they were moving the football on this particular possession. And then Austin, and I talk about his delivery all the time, and I don't like his throwing motion. I think it's something that he can't help. It's the way he throws the football, and he doesn't have the biggest arm in the world, and you saw it on this play because if he could get anything on this throw, You got Kenny Britt streaking down the sidelines behind the 49ers defense for a touchdown. Instead, he underthrows him terribly and into the arms of Parrish Cox, who picks it off. And so now the 49ers have the football again, and here's a golden opportunity for the 49ers to run away with this game. Again, even a field goal here puts you up 10, starts to put doubt in the mind of these Rams, and maybe allows you to run away with this game. But I tell you what, the Rams did do something in this game that they haven't really done a lot of this season, and that's get pressure on the quarterback. Rams with 8 sacks, and we'll talk about those sacks as we move along throughout this breakdown. But the football gods, hey, put this one in your back pocket. I want everybody watching this to remember, we've got a football gods get out of jail free pass in the back pocket of the Rams as they were jerked around on a Frank Gore fumble. They wrongly whistled this play dead because of forward progress. He fumbled this football. The whistle should not have been blown because forward progress hadn't even begun to be stopped at this point. So for them to blow the whistle here and stop the play when he fumbled the football, and this might have been a scoop and score for James Laurinaitis. He had a blocker out in front of him. It was only one 49er there to stop him. I think he scores a touchdown here if that blocker doesn't olay and whiff. If he's able to get in front of that 149ers defender, I'd like to think that Laurinaitis gets in the end zone. And so I thought that the Rams were robbed here. But guess what? The football gods see all, they hear all, and they rectify all. So, Rams, get out of jail free card from the football guys. Go ahead and stick that in your pocket. Use it whenever you feel the need to in this football game. So, 5th sack of the game comes via Robert Quinn. Oh my gosh. Robert Quinn getting his, and that's what this team needs. If they can't get pressure on the quarterback, they're not going to be a formidable football team. That's where it all starts for this Rams defense. It's up front, getting pressure on the opposing team's quarterback. And this is what we've been all waiting for. We talked about this defensive line and all these first-round draft choices and Robert Quinn leading the league in sacks last year and getting Aaron Donald. Never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. And you got Kendall Langford and you got all these other guys that can get pressure on the quarterback. Brockers, he got a sack in this game as well. And so to see them finally starting to get to the quarterback, William Hayes, he left the game with an injury though, and hopefully he's all right. But you're starting to see guys getting to the quarterback, and so this was what you have been waiting for if you're a Rams fan. This is why you went out and drafted a guy like Aaron Donald, to bolster this line, to be even more dominant than you were a season ago. So that sack comes via Robert Quinn. He forces a fumble on the play, leads, and of course Rams recover, leads to a 21-yard Kenny Britt wide open walk-in touchdown. They throw an underneath route, a crosser. He catches it, gets up the field, goes down the sideline, and isn't even touched. Nobody even puts a breath on him as he's able to just jog into the end zone. It's 10-all in this football game. Rams hanging around. And that's what pressure on the quarterback can do for you. It can keep you in a ball game. After the 6th sack of the game for the Rams by Eugene Sims, Phil the Boot misses short on a 55-yard field goal, and Tavon Austin with a boneheaded play. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm talking about. This is why bad teams lose right here. Look, either you're coming out of the end zone with the football or you're not. But I don't want this half-assed attempt at either returning or not returning. Either you're bringing the damn ball out or you're not. But you can't be indecisive and in between. He almost got a damn safety. And really, if you ask me, it was a damn safety. I thought that he went out of the end zone, and I missed me with the forward progress nonsense, because forward progress is when you stop moving forward and then the guy pushes you back. I thought he went back into the end zone on his own merit and was tackled. It should have been 2 points for the 49ers, but they ruled it forward progress. They left it alone. All I know is that was dumb as hell, and that's why teams like the Rams lose football games, because they have players on their team that aren't smart. And normally, when you find a team that's 2 and whatever, 1 and whatever, 3 and whatever, and we're in week 10 of the season, this is why. Because they got players on their team who don't understand what it takes to win football games. That was stupid, dumb, unnecessary, almost cost the team 2 points before the half. So you move on to halftime. You go to the third quarter. Cap is sacked by Aaron Donald. Never, ever, ever trust a man with 2 first names. to end the drive after the run was working. We'll get back to that in a second. I'm not even doing that right now. We're going to go on to the fourth quarter, though. 49ers implode with penalties. You got a penalty on Ellington on the punt. It wasn't ticky-tacky, sure. He threw the ball at the Rams guy who caught it, and they flagged him for a 15-yarder, whatever. But look, keep your composure. That's what it all boils down to. So then you get a Mike Iupati false start penalty that drives him back a little bit more. And then Frank Gore has a false start penalty on top of the Iupati penalty. They should have started the possession somewhere around like the 24-yard line. That personal foul takes them all the way back to like the 9. Then you got this false start penalty that takes them back to like 6. And then Frank Gore does it, and then that takes them back to like 3. So they're literally starting their first possession from literally their own goal line. I mean, that's what bad football is. And if you want to lose, take a look at a possession like that. That is what you do to lose football games. And we're not used to seeing that kind of bad football from the 49ers. We're not used to seeing that type of ineptitude. That's reserved for St. Louis. That's reserved for some of the teams of lesser talent and lesser discipline in this league. 49ers don't do that. And that's how you know some things are going on there in San Francisco that we're not used to seeing. So then, after those slew of penalties, they got to punt the football from their own end zone. And Tavon Austin fields the punt and is able to tiptoe down the sideline. Now, I don't think he would have scored because I think everybody heard the whistle. They stopped, and he kept running. He got to the end zone. It would have been a big return. He may have scored. I mean, who's to say? When you blow the whistle, you never really get to find out. And it was wrongly blown dead, the play was, because he never stepped out of bounds. Now, luckily enough for the officials, and I think somewhere along the way they realized they blew it, and so they made sure that it was offsetting penalties on the play to make sure that this down was repeated, because when have you ever seen blocking the back on the kicking team? When does that ever happen? I mean, we see blocking the back on the receiving team all the time. When is the kicking team blocking the back? I'm at a loss for words. Anyway, I thought that the officiating in this game was sketchy at best. And so they redo it, and the 49ers shank it. Andy Lee shanks the punt. It's only a 23-yard punt. So and see those penalties that I talked about, driving them back to their own goal line, proved to be huge. And so now the Rams are in business with a chance to take the lead with the field goal, and that they do. And so now they're up 13-10. 49ers get the football back with 3:11 left in this game. Niners begin their march from their own 11. Stevie Johnson with a catch and run. LaMarcus Joyner has a holding penalty, which yields a first down. And that was on the 3rd down, so that was a crucial play at the time. Quan with a catch and run gives them another first down. Then you got a pass interference on Tremaine Johnson down to the 3-yard line. Huge play. He never looked for the football. Got to look back for the football, young fella. Was not that bad of a play. Got to find the football, man. Find the football, and you will find yourself getting out of trouble. You don't look for the football, and you can go ahead and go get the flag out of the official's side pocket and throw it on the ground yourself. So now they're at the 3-yard line, about 45 seconds, so they've got plenty of time to do whatever it is, and they got a timeout. So whatever they want to do, the whole playbook open to the 49ers at the 3-yard line. They throw a pass to Michael Crabtree. Krabs is able to catch it. Doesn't get in the end zone, but he's at the 1-yard line. You feel like, okay, there's no way the 49ers don't get in here. 2nd down, they go play action fake. It doesn't work. Have to throw it out in the back of the end zone. 3rd down, you say, okay, they still got a timeout. There's about a good 24 seconds left. Ample time. If they don't get it on a quarterback sneak, if they don't get it on a Frank Gore handoff, if they don't get it on a fullback dive, whatever they decide to do, if they are in the field to play, they got a timeout. So they should get 2 plays off here if necessary. And the Rams say, hey, remember that get out of jail free card you had that you said I could use at any time, football gods? Hey, I'm turning it in right now. Can I have my turnover back, please? Please? Football gods say, hey, all I do is I grant wishes. If you ask me, I gave you the card for a reason. If you ask, it's granted. And so Cap goes, first of all, Cap is what, 6'4"? Remember Drew Brees on Thursday night when he was down at the 1-yard line? What did he do? Jump over the top, stretch it over. All you got to do is get the nose of the football over the beginning plane of the goal line. It's a touchdown. So if I'm Cap, I'm 6'4". Why the hell am I ducking my head into a line with a whole bunch of big guys when I'm 6'4" with a wingspan probably of a guy that's about 6'10", maybe 7 feet? Jump up, stretch the football over the top, win the football game, man. What the hell are you doing? So that was all wrong. The technique was all wrong going down into the pile. He never had the football. They started a rookie center, a guy that they drafted, and Marcus Martin out of USC. And so I don't know if there was a little bit of a chemistry mix up there where that ball never got to Cap cleanly. And so I don't know if he ever had it, but it definitely hit the ground. Laurinaitis comes out of the pack with the football. They rule it a Rams recovery in their football. Had it been the other way around, had they ruled it a touchdown, I don't think they overturned it. It was whatever this was called on the field is what it was going to stay as. And it ended up being beneficial to the Rams. Hey, the football gods, they see all, they hear all, they fix all. And that Frank Gore fumble at the beginning of the game was rectified at the end. 49ers lose at the very end. They had this game. I mean, they were dominating, though. Make no mistake, I think the Rams deserved to win this game, but the 49ers in past years would have found a way to pull this one out. They would have scored at the end of the game. They would have hurt the Rams' head at the end of this game. But these aren't the same 49ers that we're used to seeing. This is not the same 49ers group, and so there's some cause for concern now as the St. Louis Rams marching. Levi Stadium has not been good to the San Francisco 49ers team. They're not a dominant home team yet. They haven't really gotten that same feel that they had at Candlestick, and they're struggling at home. And so it all started in the preseason when Denver came in there and tore them a new asshole in their stadium, and it's really not, hasn't really changed that much. The Bears have gotten a win there. These Rams have gotten a win there. It's just not, it doesn't have that homey feel yet. They got to break it in, and they got to do it fast because now they're at 500, at 4-4 in the season, and you're running out of time. This NFC is too competitive for you to be dropping games at home to the lights. And I know it's family business, and anything and everything can happen when it's two family members, but this was one that was there for the taking, and you let it slip through your fingers. Big win for the Rams, man. 8 sacks of Cap. And it was everybody. I mean, this was a collective effort, and this is what you were looking for. You had a whole bunch of young guys out there at the court. I saw Robertson out there, EJ Gaines and stuff. A lot of young guys out there. A lot of young blood out there at the corner, and they held it down. And then you know why they were able to hold it down? Because the front four was generating pressure. That's why. And so, huge win for the Rams. Offensively, you did just enough. Again, Austin Davis will never wow you with what he provides from the quarterback position, but as long as he's not losing you the football game, you will take it. Rams get it done 13-10. Improbable victory for the St. Louis Rams as they go on the road and for the second time this season beat a team in this division that finished above them in the standings last year that nobody gave them a chance to beat. That's going to do it for Rams 49ers. 49ers, I will say this before I get out of here, I need to mention this. Another game where you don't run the football, and I'm tired of talking about this. I really am. At this point, I'm at wit's end about this whole discrepancy between pass and run. 21 runs in this game. And it's not like it was ineffective. You just stopped, okay? 5 of those 21 runs were from Cap. Gore only had 14 carries. So, I mean, this is pathetic is what it is. 33 passes for Cap in this game. I'm not talking about this anymore. You want to keep losing games? Keep running the football less than you pass it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Rams get you because you keep forgetting that your bread is buttered with the running game. So take another L, man, since you don't seem to understand. My grandma used to tell me all the time, those who don't hear, they feel. Well, you feel another loss. Take that. And now the Rams, if only they could be consistent. That's the problem with this team. One week you beat Seattle, the next week you go on the road, you get destroyed by Kansas City. The very next week you go on the road again and you beat San Francisco. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, you had the Cowboys. You played toe-to-toe with the Eagles. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's Rams 49ers for you. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, I'm going to cover it. Come back as I continue to break down week number 9 in the National Football League. See you in a bit.